Welcome back, guys. This is our fourth video based on quadratic equations class 10 exercise 5.5 ML11. In this video we are going to discuss problems based on price or cost price of articles. This is question number 34 of exercise 5.5. We have rupees 7,500 which is divided equally among certain number of children. So the number of children is not given. We need to find it, or find the original number of children. Okay, that's the question. Now, had there been 20 less children, so if the number of children are 20 less, each would have received rupees 100 more. Okay, so there is a comparison. If we have a less number of children, so each one gets more. How much more? That's rupees 100. Let us try to understand this with this figure. Okay, so if we have 7,500 rupees which is to be distributed among say x number of children, so this is number 1, number 2, number 3, like that. If we have x number of children, so how much each children would get? They would get 7,500 divided by x. Suppose we had 2 children, so it should be divided by 2. So if we have x children, it should be divided by x. So each one gets 7,500 divided by x. This is the amount each one gets. And that means if we have x minus 20 children, each one gets whatever the money they were getting originally. They would get 200 rupees more. Okay, so there are more than one way to find the solution for this. You just need to compare particular things here. Each one's money into number of children. If we do, suppose we have 7,500 divided by x is the amount for each one, and if we multiply by total number of children, we get 7,500. That's the total money. Similarly, in the second case also, if we multiply the money of each children when the number of children are less, so this is the money of each children, and when multiplied by total number of children, that is x minus 20, we get the total money. So the total money is not changing. Now I prefer the second way. Here we are going to compare the money for each one, right? So new money received by each, when we subtract the original money received by each, what is the difference? We get rupees 100. So the money when there are less number of children is greater than the money when there are more children. So by how much? It's rupees 100. Let the original number of children be x. So total money equals to 7,500 rupees. So original money received received by each equals to 7,500 by x rupees. Now new number of children. So this is the condition when you have 20 children less, so that's x minus 20, and new money received when we have 20 children less. New money received by each is 7,500 is the total amount, so received by each x minus 20. Now according to the condition, we have the new money received more, that's 7,500 on x minus 20 is greater than that 7,500 by x by 100 rupees. Okay, so this is the important part to form the expression. Now you can reduce it to standard quadratic equation, then solve it for x. Now after cross multiplying, taking LCM, when you reduce it, you get x square minus 20x minus 1500 equals to 0. So you need to work out the steps to it, and so you need to solve it, and this is how we solve it. Here we get x equals to minus 30 or x equals to 50. We get x equals to minus 30, x equals to 50. So what is x? X is the number of children. So original number of children which cannot be negative. So discarding the negative value, I get 50. You can write it in bracket, discarding the negative value. Negative value of x. So that's our answer. Remember, you can always check your answer by putting the value in the given condition. So if it satisfies, that means your answer is correct. In this question we have 2x articles, cost rupees this is the price of 2 times the articles, and again we have x plus 2 similar articles. Okay, so the cost for x plus 2 articles is this. We have to find x. Okay, cost of 2x articles is this, then cost of one article, so that's divided by 2x. Okay, also we know that x plus 2 articles similar items. Okay, similar articles, that cost is 10x minus 4. Then in that case cost of one article is this, but we know those are similar kind of articles, so cost of one article here and cost of one article here has to be same. So that means this expression and this expression are same. So 5x plus 54 divided by 2x equals to 10x minus 4 by x plus 2, which reduces to the quadratic equation 15x square minus 72x minus 108 equals to 0. Let's write it in standard format here. 15x square minus 72x minus 108 equals to 0. So we can divide the whole expression by 3. We get 5x square. 72 divided by 3, we get 24x minus 36 equals to 0. Now solve this. So this is our quadratic equation, and on solving we get x equals to minus 6 by 5 or x equals to 6. So x equals to minus 6 by 5 or x equals to 6. So what is x? X is value of x, which is number of articles cannot be negative. So discarding the negative value, x equals to 6. Discarding negative value of x. In this question we have a shopkeeper who buys certain number of books. So number of books we don't know. Total amount is given for rupees 960. So if this 960 is to be divided equally among all the books, okay, so we can find the number of books. If cost per book was rupees 8 less, that means if the cost of the books are less, then the number of books should rise. Okay, number of books would be 4. Taking the original cost of each book to be rupees x, you have to find the original cost. So if you compare this with the previous question, like total amount to be divided into number of children. So in case of children, here we have number of books. So the original cost, we assumed it to be X, and then number of books purchased will be total cost divided by cost of one book. Now cost of one book is X and the total cost is 960. So number of books purchased will be 960 by X. And when we have the price less, cost of each book is X minus 8 rupees. Then the number of new books will be 960 by X minus 8. Okay, so this is the number of new books. Now, as per the given condition in the question, we have number of new books minus number of original priced books equals to 4. So there are 4 books more as per the question. So number of new books is 960 by X minus 8 minus 960 by X equals to 4. Now this is the solution part where this expression is reduced to a quadratic equation, x square minus 8x minus 1920 equals to 0. Now on solving this quadratic equation, we get x equals to minus 40 or x equals to 48. So after solving this part, we get x equals to minus 40 or x equals to 48. So cost of each book originally priced. Okay, so cost of a book cannot be negative, hence discarding the negative value, we have x equals to 48. So original cost of the book or each book is rupees 48. Okay, here in this question, the hotel bill for a number of people, again number of people we don't know. So when they are staying overnight in the hotel, the bill comes to 4,800 rupees. If there are 4 more people, persons increased to 4, the bill each person had to pay would be reduced by 200. So find the number of people staying overnight. So all these questions basically are of same type. The situations are different and what is required is different. Like here you need the number of people staying overnight. Okay, so total amount of hotel bill is rupees 4,800 and the number of people, let us assume it to be X. Cost per person should be 4,800 divided by X. Then as per the new condition, when we have new number of people, we have 4 people more. Okay, so X plus 4, and then the new cost per head would be 4,800 divided by X plus 4. So according to the condition given in the problem, we have 4,000 divided by 4,800 by X. That's the price when there were less number of people, because you have less number of people, you have to pay more. So this is the price per head when there were 4 more people. That's 200 rupees more. So when you are subtracting, you get 200 rupees more. So you need to solve this. Let us see the solution. So this expression reduced to a quadratic equation, x square plus 4x minus 96. And when solved, this quadratic equation gives you two solutions, x equals to minus 12 or x equals to 8. You can pause the video and see if your calculation is right or not. So we found x equals to minus 12 or x equals to 8. Now x is what? It's the number of people staying overnight. So that cannot be negative. Okay, discarding the negative value of x, number of people staying overnight is 8. This is question number 41, where Ritu bought a saree for rupees 60x. So this is the cost price of the saree, 60x, and sold it for rupees 500 plus 4x. Okay, at a loss. So loss is given. cost price is given, loss percentage is given, and selling price is given. So you have to find the cost price. Now you know that the cost price of the saree is 60x, selling price of the saree is 500 plus 4x, and loss percentage is given x. So what is the formula for loss percentage? It's loss over cost price into 100%. Okay, so that's our loss percentage. So what is loss? Loss, when you have cost, when you sell for less, you actually have loss. Okay, so putting the values, and since we have the expression now, putting all the values, it is reduced to a quadratic equation. 3x square minus 280x plus 2500 equals to 0. Now you need to solve this. So this is the solution. So if we want to write, we can write 3 into 2500. The factors, we take 30 into 250. Okay, so minus 30 minus 250, we get minus 280x, and 30 into 250, we get the product of A and C. Okay, so splitting, we get the roots. The roots are x equals to 10 or x equals to 250 by 3. So here we get x equals to 10 or x equals to 250 by 3. Taking the integer value of x here, so cost price of the saree would be 60 into x, and x taking 10, we get cost price of the saree to be 600. Thank you. See you in the next class.